Mentioned a Palestinian assailant approached at a very early hour of the morning the Bab al-Khuta, one of the gates, the main entrances to the Temple Mount, where there's constant Israeli police presence. He was able to stab and lightly injure two police officers. They responded with fire and were able to kill him. The West Bank and East Jerusalem we see constant tensions there. It does not make a lot of headlines, certainly in the past 2 weeks or so, due to the conflict in Ukraine, but these are things that are constantly ongoing, and we're quickly approaching the holy month of Ramadan, the holy month of in the Muslim calendar. That's always a source of friction with the Israeli police forces.
And we saw that, but just recently, where there was a Muslim holy day that was taking place, where they
last week
commemorating in the Islamic narrative the arrival of the Prophet Muhammad to the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and there was clashes with the security forces. And when it's also on a religious day, it also makes everything much more tense and could lead to a much bigger explosion.
Absolutely. And as Ramadan approaches, let's understand what Ramadan is. The Muslims fast through the day and then gather at night. Last month it happened in early May. What happened in early May? Things escalated in Jerusalem, in the Damascus Gate, in Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood, and turned to the operation in Gaza. That the month of Ramadan is again approaching, and we're already seeing tensions, especially in Jerusalem around the Temple Mount, all over the West Bank as well. We've seen plenty of incidents over the past week, and the potential for escalation is clearly there.
Certainly, and also you mentioned the West Bank, and that's also where we have seen more and more Israeli operations against militants, and also the Palestinian Authority trying to crack down on Hamas, Islamic Jihad. What's going on in the West Bank now?
All that is correct, but another interesting thing, we've seen images coming from the city of Jenin over the past week or 2 weeks. This is a city where Israel operated over the past week with arrests, Palestinian terrorists killed. But this is a place where basically all these terror organizations operate almost freely. There's very little, if any, presence of the Palestinian security forces, at least in the northern part of the West Bank. It seems as if the Palestinian security forces are having less and less control, much more presence of the terror organizations, Hamas, and most notably the Islamic Jihad.